Anyway, inside Studio 1A, I'm Katie Couric along with Matt Lauer. And coming up in just a moment, Ant's exclusive interview with another sex symbol who's really trying to make a difference, Angelina Jolie. And she's going to be having a baby, of course, as everyone knows, with Brad Pitt. But another important topic on her mind these days is helping more kids get an education worldwide. We'll have that exclusive interview for you. Just ahead.
First, we have that exclusive interview with Angelina Jolie. Jolie and Brad Pitt have already adopted 2 children, 4-year-old Maddox from Cambodia and 1-year-old Zahara from Ethiopia. People magazine now calls them the world's most beautiful family. Well, now they're adding to that family, and Anne caught up with Angelina Jolie in Africa recently. Just got back the other day, actually.
I did, in fact, Matt and Katie, in recent months, the movie star and humanitarian has tried to stay out of the public eye as she awaits the birth of her baby. But just a few days ago, we sat down in Africa for an interview about her new life. Jolie has a new cause, spokeswoman for Global Education Week, and she called on all the world's nations to help all the world's children go to school. In what seems to be the middle of nowhere, on the edge of Namibia in southern Africa, a very pregnant Angelina Jolie emerged from her private family vacation to speak on behalf of children in poor countries who don't get to go to school. What is the worst in your mind of that?
God, I mean, there's just so many things. It's really that thought of the potential of a human being. The lack of education causes death. You know, more children die under the age of 5 when the parents are not educated. More people get AIDS when they haven't had an education. Statistics prove that if every child was in school, every year, 700,000 less people would get AIDS.
It seems also for you kind of a personal thing. You have 2 children you've adopted, both of whom might have been in this same circumstance of not being able to get educated. And when you look at them and you realize that,
I look at them and I just think, you know, I look at especially my daughter and how, you know, many million kids are out of school in her country, and especially girls. And I know how families with AIDS, when parents die of AIDS, how, you know, there's no possible way the children can make a school fee. There's no possible way she would have gone to school. And she is so smart and so strong. And her potential as a woman one day is great. So you multiply her by thousands, and that is the thing, you know, I can so clearly see when I look at her. Maddox, the amount of street children in his country, in all probability what would have happened to Maddox, he would have probably been one of the kids doing the garbage picking in the streets, and he would have been on his own. Yeah.
it must mean so much to you as a human being to be able to give them an opportunity that they would never have gotten.
You know, I'm happy for them that they're going to have all this education, and I hope with it they do some good things, and they're good, you know, good people. And but yeah, when I visit Cambodia and I see all those other moms, it's the worst thing in the world not to be able to give your kids everything you know they deserve.
So when you announced it, how many kids showed up for school?
Our registration day the first time we've had.
Last year we had total, I think, 23 or 24.
Why should the American people push this when there are so many issues at home, including educational problems?
Yeah.
Why should they call their congressman on this one?
Because if we just fix home and the neighborhoods around us fall apart, you know, what kind of a place are we going to live in? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to just fix your own house when your neighbors are, you know, falling into chaos.
There's another very famous person who talks a lot about education, and you sound a lot like her. Laura Bush, actually. She talks a lot about this issue, specifically educating girls.
Well, she should nudge her husband.
Well, I think she does.
Yeah.
And I think that it's also could be said that the U.S. does spend
They do.
a considerable amount of money
They do.
helping poor people get educated. So what's your message?
They do. But no child left behind means no child left behind. And that isn't with what we feel we can give right now, but with whatever it takes. And Britain gives 3 times more than us right now. They're not richer than us. So I don't know what the great excuse is.
Children are a priority for Angelina Jolie, especially now as she awaits the birth of her third child, her baby with Brad Pitt. How do you feel about the birthing part? Are you good? You ready?
Yeah, I'm quite, we're just hoping it doesn't happen when we don't know where it's going to happen or where we're going to be, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, you have a doctor nearby, or, I mean, I don't want to be too prying, but, I'm a little...
We've been smart about that, and we're as prepared as things will be as they will be, so. But, I'm ready for anything.
Yeah. Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
Yes.
Would you like to keep that to yourself, or do you want to
Yes.
share that with the American public?
No, I'd like to keep it to myself.
Giggling, I understand, is something you're doing a lot more lately. I hear that from a very good source. Your right-hand woman, Holly. She said you are giggling a lot lately.
I am.
Is it pregnancy?
Yeah, that's what I've gotten from pregnancy. It's I actually am. I've gotten... See? Yeah, Brad said that to me too. I get hysterical now. Like, it'll go on for hours. It's really horrible.
And look at you, you're a mess. You're laughing.
It's
You're
hormonal.
Keep it up. Gonna be pregnant more often because this is working. She's happy. The ultimate goal of the Global Education Drive is to give every child a chance to get at least a 5th grade education by the year 2015. In Africa, where Angelina Jolie has focused so much of her effort, 40 million children are out of school, including more than half of all girls who never get to finish elementary school. If you'd like to find out how you can help, we're going to have more later today on our website at today.msnbc.com.
It's nice to hear that she's done her homework, and there are some celebrities, no names mentioned here, who go out and they promote a cause and you have a feeling they're there for a photo op. But she clearly has done some research into this and knows what she's talking about.
She spent so much time there, too, obviously. I
She's
think
the real
being
deal.
there is the best education of all. Meanwhile, I see pictures of them constantly, and I wonder how she deals with that, because it seems that she must have... It must be such a surreal existence.
Yeah, I think also because when you're pregnant, as you know, you're trying to protect your family and yourself. You're sort of defensive anyway. And to be in a situation in which you're really surrounded by paparazzi photographers. I mean, they've had to put shields up.
And I read that Namibia sort of has stricter laws when it comes to that. And are they enforcing them? Has that helped?
Namibia is enforcing them, and I think Angelina and her family are very grateful for that. There is a law in Namibia that you can't photograph somebody without his or her permission. And so,
whether anyone follows that law, of course,
Exactly.
remains
Exactly.
to be
Use
seen.
these long lenses, it's hard to track them down. And she's how far along pregnancy-wise?
Well, she wasn't really telling me, and I think the reason is because of all this attention from the paparazzi, but she's not quite 8 months, she said.
She seems pretty relaxed about the whole thing, doesn't she?
She does, but
For
she's
her
a
first
very
baby.
powerful girl. I mean, look at her life so far. I have a lot of faith that she'll be all right.
Yeah, I know, I'm sure she'll be great, but I feel like I'm a nervous wreck.
And by the way, you can see the rest of Anne's exclusive interview with Angelina Jolie on Dateline. That's Sunday night at 7, 6 Central Time. Of course, right here on NBC. Now let's get another check.